supposedly begun. But until someone challenges me, it has not yet. So I'm waiting on you, dear Shakespeareans. Who else will throw down the gauntlet? I think it's clearly. All right.
Oh, the defiance.
So begins our class for today, kind of for the year, and also somewhat, no, not somewhat, completely in Richard II and the first act. We, I believe that this play was what point? No, well, I think the gauntlets have been thrown many a time, but this is where my understanding of throwing down the gauntlet comes from, and I think also many modern others. I am here to educate you and inform you about the flurry of events in Richard II. So I'm going to be drawing. You may mark up your single page, single face pages as much as you can. There you go. No, it does not.
Oh dear.
I'm going to shut the door. Is that okay?
Thank you. Yes, please.
Richard II, King Richard II, shows up in Act 2 as a scoundrel because he has a friend named Henry Bolingbroke, and he's gotten his friend Henry Bolingbroke to accuse Sir Thomas Mowbray of the murder of Richard II's uncle, who is Thomas of Woodstock. You forget his name after the first page. So, I'm going to do a character map. It's like a family tree. Is that okay? Please interrupt me if you have dilemmas. Richard II, he's in love with Queen Isabella, who appears in the play. Alright? So, these two are connected. This is all in Act 1 so far. So, the gauntlet gets thrown down by first Bolingbroke, then Mowbray. Bolingbroke's accused Mowbray of killing Thomas of Woodstock, who is an uncle out here. T. Thomas, it's on your paper. Can I abbreviate? Of Woodstock. Alright. Richard plays then the noble, facilitating, helpful, peaceful king by calling them off of one another from their duel, their potential deaths. Instead, he exiles both of them, which is ironic given that he's involved in the whole murder of everything. So he's exiled them, a seemingly peaceful notion, which will later come to his room. In Act 1, those two are exiled away from England. We don't hear from Mowbray again. We hear about him in Act 4. It tells you on here. No. Yes. Yes. He goes off and fights the noble Christian war, which we all do metaphorically today in our lives. So, Bolingbroke. I refer to him as DD, but you can think of him however you wish. He later becomes King Henry IV. Cousins, I believe. Not brothers. This is going to be more difficult than I believed.
3 minutes.
Alright. Act 2. At the end of Act 1, Sir John of Gaunt, who is Bolingbroke's father, and Richard's uncle, this is not right. Forgive me. John of Gaunt, aka Jog. Though he seems healthy, he's actually frail and thin, falls ill at the end of the Act 1 and dies in Act 2. His parting words to Richard II are attempts of, you should have listened to my advising, you should have, there's this great, this is what life is about. He's dying, he sees it, he gets it. Richard, haughty, young, involved in murder, all kinds of things, is like, whatever. And he takes England's money and he runs off to Ireland to fight wars. Queen Isabella is sad about this, but she can live. So, this is a cousin. This is a dad. His father is Sir Edward the Black Prince. Oh my goodness, the time is passing, so we're going to keep going. I'm not going to draw stuff on the board for you. Wow. Act 2, John of Gaunt dies. Duchess of Gloucester. So the guy who originally got killed is Thomas of Woodstock. His wife is Duchess of Gloucester. She kills herself in the play. That doesn't seem relevant to the rest of the text, except that the women provide a foil as to the civic and political issues. The women represent the family. That's a theme I've put on down here. Civic concerns tend to mirror and be the cause of, at the same time, the political concerns in this play. All right, we're still going. So guys, Duchess of Gloucester kills herself, all in that same, we can refer to Act 2 as the tragic act. Act 3. Richard II returns to Ireland with a change of heart. Okay, so just as we're thinking he's not such a bad guy, he gets overthrown by Bolingbroke, who comes back. Bolingbroke is doing a bad thing in that he's committing treason by coming back against the king's exile. He comes back, takes over. Richard peacefully resigns with a long soliloquy where you really feel like he could make a good king if we went back in time and got a time machine. That's not the case. So he goes to prison. His wife goes back to France. That's all peaceful, all really beautiful speeching. And the king and queen are separated. Piers Exton kills Richard II, and Bolingbroke regrets it terribly because he's learned his lesson. Am I done?
That'll have to do.